What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. We have the Galaxy Z Flip 3. Mine finally arrived today. This is the 256 gig version. It's the lavender, so you can see the purple on here. Glass all around. Feels really, really good in your hand. Feels like really, really good quality. The construction, the buttons, everything feels very, very nice about this phone. I also, with it, got a couple of gifts. I got the Galaxy Buds 2. I got them in white this time. I also have them already in lavender, but yeah, I have them in this white color as well. So see that? I'll probably do a video if you guys want to see just comparing the two colors. Is that interesting you? A separate video? Let me know in the comments below. Regardless, I also got the case, which I will do a video on this as well. This is the silicone cover with ring. I'll let you know how I like this or don't like this in a separate video. So let's put that off to the side. And then you get the box. Very skinny box, Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. And there's nothing in this box. I'm not even gonna bother opening it. It's literally a USB-C to USB-C cable and a SIM card ejector tool and some terms and condition type paperwork. That's it. That's all you're gonna find in there. Let's put that off to the side and get to the star of the show, and that is this. Obviously, if you didn't know, this phone opens just like that. And here it is. Here's the flip phone. And I'm coming from this phone, the Galaxy Z Fold 3, I should say. Just let me pull it out here for a second. And if you follow my channel, you know this is my be-all, end-all of phones. Like this, of every phone that's released throughout the year. I mean, some cameras might be better. I like the cameras better on the Pixel phones. Like the video better on the S21 Ultra and the iPhone. But ultimately, everything combined, this is the phone that I would want. I absolutely love the Z Fold 3. And I've used this for literally about an hour or two at this point with transferring all my stuff and just playing around with it ever so slightly. And I'm gonna get into the features of this, but I don't get it. I still don't get it. I can't remember, I think I had the first generation for a little bit, and it's still basically the same, but it feels better for sure in certain areas, but I just don't get it. It's just, to me, it's literally just don't get it. It just seems like a phone that flips with, sure it flips, but I mean, it's like, great, what does that do for me? So with that said, let's jump into some of the features. So you now have this big screen on the front here, well, semi-big, I guess you could say, and you can touch it, so it's kind of cool. And you can swipe through and see if you have any music playing. Get a little bit closer. You can see if you have any alarms coming off. You can start a timer. You can actually add widgets as well. I can barely read. This is so small. I think that says messages. Oh, there's an alarm. So you can just add different ones, and you can press and hold on them if you want. So I just press and hold on it. Open phone to continue. So it's asking me to open my phone. I'm gonna open my phone real quick. Use my fingerprint sensor on the side here. And here it is. It's asking me to add which ones I want. Today's schedule, next alarm timer. So there you go. Kind of interesting, right? You can also see your notifications on the front, which I don't think I have any, so I think that's why it's not showing up. I do. There you go. So you can see your notifications too. You can also see your camera. So if you double press the camera button, you can see I have my camera. And I can take a photo of myself, or you can actually change the modes as well down here. You can change the lens, you can shoot pictures or videos, and whatever you want, it's just tap on it or swipe to it, and when you're ready, you can go. And I'll take a little photo here. You're just gonna press the volume up to capture it. So kind of cool to have that outside display if you need to, and you can keep it closed up and get some kind of functionality out of the phone. You can also wirelessly charge on this phone and power wireless share devices on the back of the device. Beyond that, it's a two-tone phone. I think it looks great. This is a great color. You get the black at the top, the two cameras, which is an ultra wide and a main, and you have your flash. You get your hinge with the Samsung branding right there. You got your this is a stereo speakers on here, USB-C charging, microphones right there, those little dots. On the right-hand side, you have your fingerprint and your volume up and down, and on the left, you have where the SIM card goes. And that's pretty much it. That is the body of the phone. So let's talk about the fingerprint sensor. For me, I don't know it. I know they have the where it folds in right there, but it feels a little bit too high for me for some reason. it doesn't, I feel like I have to reach a little bit more just to reach it. So unfortunately, I feel like, I can't really go down any further because otherwise I'd be down here, which actually I don't think I would mind that. I think I would like it right down here. For me, it just feels a little bit too high. And then the volume keys are wicked high. So all that, I'm not a huge fan of how high it is actually. And maybe it wouldn't be good down here because, I don't know, it just feels too high. I don't like the way it is right there. So change that, Samsung. But if you feel with me, if you have this phone and you think your fingerprint sensor and your volume keys are too high, let me know in the comments down below. Tell me why I'm wrong. The display is, pretty big. It's a 6.7 inch display, 120 hertz. So it's nice and smooth, very, very nice and smooth. I was very happy with how smooth this phone is. Let's just go back here. So let's go here. We can see how smooth this is. Hopefully, it's delightful. So if you wanted the smooth, if you were missing that 120 hertz on the previous generations of this, I think you'll be pretty stinking happy with this. It feels nice and fluid. Snapdragon 888 inside with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Like I said, I have the 256 gig version. The 128 gigabyte version goes for only $9.99. So very inexpensive. If you're looking for the future of phones, have them be folding or flipped, you might want to look at this phone. You got your camera at the top in the middle there. So no under display cameras with this. Yeah, I keep reaching for the wrong place with that fingerprint sensor. So let's just hop into the camera real quick. Same modes you would always expect with portrait mode and single take. I love single take. If you got kids, single take is a godsend with Samsung phones. You can get some nice photos with that. You got videos, more, and all the features that you would expect. So with that said, let's check out a couple of videos and photos that I took with the front and the back cameras of this phone. This is the back main camera, 4K 30 of the Z Flip 3. See if you can tell any differences between the front camera on that shooting in 4K. What do you guys think? Does the camera look good on this? Let me know. This is the front camera showing off 4K, letting you hear the cameras. What do you guys think? Z Flip 3 front camera shooting in 4K. You can go up to 4K 60 on that, which is pretty nice. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Here's a little wide angle action shooting some video on here. What do you guys think? This looks like good, bad, ugly? I don't know. I'm not looking at it. I can't see it right now, so I don't know. But yeah, interesting that, cool that we finally have hopefully some decent cameras on the Z Flip 3. Performance on this phone seems pretty snappy. I've been using it for a little bit at this point, and haven't noticed any really lag. It is a little bit hot right now, me using the phone, and it's not downloading anything. It's not really doing anything, but it is just heated up a little bit more so than any of my other phones. I'm not too sure why it's heating up when nothing's really going on. Nothing's downloading, nothing's going on. So I don't know what's going on. You get your Google feed over here on the left, which is great. And so again, performance over this short 2-hour span that I've been using the phone seems absolutely fine. And I don't think you'll have any problems with using the phone to do the basics on here. You can even obviously game because it's got that beautifully fast processor. The RAM's a little low, but otherwise it's fine. This being a Samsung Galaxy phone and also Android, you can multi-window, meaning I can run 2 windows at once at the same time. So I could watch a video up here and then scroll a website or do social media or do my work down here and vice versa. So you can add a lot of functionality to that. You can also pull in a window down here and have a floating window. So I could be, again, having another browser window down here and another one down there and just switch between the two. So, some cool functionality between all this stuff to be able to do that. Obviously the screen's a little bit small, I feel like, in terms of doing something like that, because this is a 6.7 inch display versus like a Galaxy Z Fold 3, you get a much larger display to do that with. But a lot of people don't want a display that large. One of the main things, you can kind of stand up the phone. Now you can do some things here. You could open your camera up and maybe easier to take photos of a selfie or something. If you wanted to prop it up, you have a stand right there, which is kind of nice to be able to do something like that. You could watch a video. So let's open up YouTube. And when you're doing that, you have your comments at the bottom here, and you can kind of cycle through them like that. So there's some functionality to be able to, that you might like. You could do even multitasking. You could multitask just like that. You could have something like down up here and another app down here. And you know, that's obviously one of the features and one of the kicks that this phone has that just a straight candy bar phone wouldn't have, is that it can't fold halfway like that, or a quarter away, or 3/4 of the way. So there's some cool stuff that can be done with that, you know. And also you get this cool, how many people can do, actually let me go on a website instead. I'll close this real quick. You got this cool effect to make this larger. So you get that nice looking waterfall. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, you can do this on the other flip phones as well, but it's, you know, it's just a neat effect. It's a cool, like, hey, check out my phone. Don't you want a Samsung phone now? So it's a nice little trick. Let's go back into video so we can show off the display. So display to me looks absolutely, you know, fine. Fills up the whole screen if you pinch in. Obviously some of it is cut off, like the top of the head. But that's very normal for these type of phones. These, you know, it's not a candy bar phone right here, but basically, you know, it's a candy bar phone when it's opened. And let's check out the volume, because it does have stereo speakers now.
Like, I don't have a suit and tie. I'm not traditional, and I don't know, a lot of YouTubers aren't, but for me, it feels too business-like. That's really the reason I don't like them. Tech11 Mama says, if you have Samsung Care Plus, is it covered?
Speakers sound good. I'm very happy with those speakers, actually. So let's just do one thing. Let's hear a little bit of music. I know I have some music in here when I go into my Q&A. We'll just launch that up real quick.
Ask. With that said, guys, let's get into the Q&A portion of the video and drop that beat. First question comes from...
So, I mean, they're not the loudest speakers. They're not the bassiest speakers. They're not the best speakers. They sound absolutely fine for a $1,000 or $1,100 phone, whatever you paid for it. They sound fine. They're okay. Let's just check out some of the software here. Obviously, like I said, you got your Google feed over here. You got your home screens. It's going to be very similar. If you're used to Galaxy phones, it's going to be very similar to you, but you can do different wallpapers. They have a wallpaper store. They have a theme store, so you can theme out your phone if you wanted to with different types of themes, and that will do your wallpaper, your lock screens, your sounds, all kinds of cool stuff, your icons very easily with a click of a button to download that stuff. You also have your widgets, settings in here to set the home screen layout. You can change all that and add new apps to apps downloaded and show an apps button. And then beyond that, you have your quick toggles to give you everything from turning your flashlight on to turning on and off mobile data, to scan QR codes, airplane mode. Settings also, again, you're gonna get if you're used to all the customizations and all that kind of stuff, you have that. You can go to cover screen and you can check out and change your clock style and change the color of it if you wanted to. And the cover screen is the one on the front here, which I'll show you. So maybe I want this little rabbit thing and I want to change it to this greenish color. I can do that. I'm going to hit done. And I can add, like I showed you, different apps. Maybe I want everything to be on there. I can reorder it if I want and change, you know, move these up and down. And then when I'm done, just go back. And that'll be like that. So I'm going to show you that cover screen that I just set up. And there you go. There's my little, whatever that is. I guess is that a monkey? Because it's a monkey. Yeah, so the fingerprint sensor, I kind of mentioned it earlier. It's a little bit too high for me where it's placed, but it works great. Volume keys feel nice. All that stuff feels nice over there. You're also going to get, when you go down further enough, you get your advanced features where you can call and text on different devices. You can continue apps on other devices linked to Windows, Android Auto. You're not going to find DeX on here. There's no DeX. Labs has multi-window for all apps, and you can do the flex mode panel, so you can turn that on and off for certain apps. Bixby routines, one-handed, motions and gestures. So if you're used to all the customizations, this phone's definitely going to have it for the most part. So with all that said, let's talk about this phone, what I think about it so far. Checking out the cameras and videos, I actually think they look pretty good. I'm impressed with it. I thought they took, in the preliminary photos and videos that I took, I think it came out good. I think the volume buttons and the fingerprint sensor buttons are too high, but they work well and they feel well. The overall build quality and look of the phone is really cool. You can definitely impress people with this. I think they're gonna think it's nice looking. The features of having wireless charging and power wireless share is really nice. The display on the front here is cool, to be able to not have to always open your phone, but maybe you just want to check your time real quick, or check some notifications, or play your music or video. We also have the big display, and the big display for the most part is pretty darn good. You can see I only have it at about probably 40% brightness, and maybe from this video you can't tell, but this does get pretty bright. You know, this is exactly happy. I'd be darn happy with this. Pixel phones at 40% are basically dark. I can't even see it. This is, you know, a beautiful Samsung display, and it's calibrated well with the brightness and the colors. They look awesome on here. Performance is good. Just in preliminary testing, very happy with the performance on this phone. Speakers sound okay, not the best, not the worst, just okay. Good enough for a $1,000 phone, and good enough for a folding phone at that. So, you know, you have the feature of folding it to make it smaller to go in your pocket. That's cool. But for me, I just don't get the appeal of this after that. I personally, if I had to choose between this and an S21 Ultra, I would choose the S21 Ultra. It just makes more sense to me. This doesn't do enough for me to be like, oh, that solves a problem. This solves a problem for me, where you can have a huge phone, a huge display, but then if you really want, you can also have the smaller phone to just have a smaller display. So this makes sense to me. This personally doesn't. I really don't get the hype over this. I don't know why this would sell more than the Z Fold 3, except for the price. Obviously the price is a huge thing, but with that said, I just don't get the appeal over this. I really don't. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the Z Flip 3. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road.